Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's edition of the 5D News. We are already April 22nd, and lots of news to cover tonight. Of course, do make sure you like this episode, you are subscribed to the channel, and you can also share the content with people you think you might like. This type of content, it really helps us into creating some more content like this for you guys. And of course, the content you watch is shaping your reality. So here we're trying to bring you the news, and by empowering what we can do about it, and also trying to also bring some uplifting news, which is not always easy, but we try really hard to be on the highest frequency of this. Hi, Sophie, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm doing the spring detox, body and soul and house and relationships. So I think it's, I love that period of time. Maybe that's my Virgo side, but I love that.
Yeah, it's awesome. And since you're talking about that, it's a really good segue into our first question for tonight. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Pope, because we had like a very important announcement yesterday on Easter Monday about the Pope's passing. So, and we're talking about Easter, so resurrection. This is my segue into this question. So let's, because Sophie doesn't always remember, she rarely in fact remembers what she said in previous episodes. So we're going to start by looking at exactly what you said, because you predicted something very, very accurate. Okay, so I'm going to have like a 2-minute of a past show that I'm going to share with you guys, and then we'll go on with about resurrection from the dead. So there is a link here with Easter, resurrecting of the Christ. But here it takes a turn of, let's say, mass awakening, because this archangel, which I'm guessing is Gabriel, is announcing that we're going to have a big mass awakening and rebirth. So my question here for the cards is Judgment Day starting this year around Easter? And by Judgment Day, I mean like the removing of the veil that you saw earlier, like seeing a lot of the darkness for what it truly is.
I would say yes, everything is already put in place at the moment.
Oh, and you know what? Like I just realized this year, Easter falls on April 20th, which is just after the retrogrades.
Yeah.
So a big yes here?
I would say yes. We have release, we have comeback, which is death and rebirth. We have a lot of war, so that's the energy of there is something that is going to explode. We're going to have to see a big bang before we're seeing the judgment, and everything is being put in place. So the exact moment where we're going to see this big bang and it's going to be starting, I don't know, but it's already being put in place at the moment. So I would say that it's near that, and we have nothing to be fearful, because we are only going to expand and level our vibration even higher.
Yeah.
But for those who have done wrong, it's going to be a rude awakening.
Can we just have like a glimpse of what's this big bang all about? Like this event that's starting this whole Judgment Day process?
This is something that I have seen, I think, for the past year. There is supposed to be either a passing in royalty, or there's something that is very similar to that. So that could be the Pope, that could be royalty. But we do have
Okay. Did you remember that?
Of course not. I don't remember doing cards ever.
Of course not. So like Sophie, you were so on point. Like you talked about a passing that would be probably the beginning, the big bang event, such as you phrase it, before the process of unraveling the Judgment Day. So let's start with our first question here. This is so crazy and amazing at the same time. What's coming up as far as next announcements or events connected to the Judgment Day?
Okay.
And by, again, Judgment Day, we mean the big revelation, mass awakening, all that stuff.
And not necessarily linked to the Pope, correct? But just...
No, as far as like consciousness, global consciousness.
Yeah.
Mass awakening.
We have purge and regret. So I think in that video that you showed, I was talking about how if you have done wrong things, there is this judgment that is coming. And I think it's this big purge is about to hit a lot more, and we have hunted. I'm going to go back to that in a moment. So the purge is going to hit a lot of different type of people in power. So politics, Hollywood, people behind the scenes. So it's going to be probably affecting different type of people for different reasons, but the main topic here is, have you done the right things in the past in your actions? Have you done the wrong things? And we can see that there is going to be this purge. I'm going to take an extra card of tarot for this one. We can see that there is a purge that is happening where people are going to be haunted by their past action and come to a place of regret. You know, some people are only regretting stuff when they are caught. So I'm not saying that they have a lot of humanity in them. I'm just saying that they're going to probably express remorse. And we do have the card of Leo, the card of, it says pride and ego. So I would say people in power from all type. That's the next thing that is coming. And it's in an effort to rebalance, and an effort from source and not from us consciously to rebalance masculine and feminine powers.
Okay, so possibly like the end of patriarchy in some different spheres, and some leaders repenting for what they did, or people at the top of their industry, so to say.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the extra card of this is the Five of Pentacles. So that could be locking up people for what they've done. So I think that we can have all some kind of clues on what I'm talking about, what cases are coming true, but just it's going to start, and I think it's going to snowball into many different areas, many different layers of society.
Okay, wow. So it has started, as you said in the other video, which was the spring equinox deep dive. Go check it out if you're interested into knowing more, because that was a really good one. And the second part is about Easter. It's about resurrection. It's all about that. Really good one. So, okay, next question. So, of course, we've learned, or rather, it was announced yesterday that the Pope passed. So I'd like to ask the cards, did he really pass away? And did this happen just now as announced?
I'm laughing because I saw our mom yesterday, and the first question she asked me, did the Pope really die? Okay, let's see what we have.
And she likes to watch our 5D news, so she's going to know at the same time.
Yeah. It says yes, and not from natural causes. It's so interesting. Do you remember that something just clicked when I saw this card? I think I said that they were, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I said something about they were trying to get him off world.
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay, look at this. Secret and off world. I think he died. But there is something about bringing a part of him or his essence or something off-world to help to heal the masculine and the feminine. I'm going to take more cards on this.
Is it about DNA? Is it about like DNA research, or?
Let's see what we have there. It's not from natural causes, so that's weird too.
And I remember you said, well, the time you were referring to when you pulled cards on that, you said something about they were delaying his passing because they wanted to make sure he was being able to be brought off world, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's pretty much what I have. The King of Swords is showing up. So let me know. Let's start with maybe the cause of death, and let's see about this off-world and the why, because we seem to have multiple angles there. we have the Five of Swords. So yeah, it says that people are not in the known the real reason of the passing. So that's the first thing. The real reason of the passing is what? We have the card of the death. So it seems that we did have a real problem with the heart, the physical heart. But because I'm seeing the card of the dead card, and we have that it's not something that is natural, I would say that it's either self-induced. So it's either that you decide to accelerate this, or people outside decided that it's the right time at that exact time, and to do this this way, maybe because of the dates, the holidays and things like that. So he died on Easter, like the...
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. So, whoops, this one. Did the Vatican time his passing with Easter? In this case, Easter Monday, on purpose? Did they time this on purpose with Easter?
Let's see. Yes, the Fool. So it says that it was ready to go. So I think that it could have lived longer. I do see that his essence, like I said, or something about him was sent off-world. And that's the next thing we need to know. But the passing on the day or around the day, that means death and rebirth. And we know that this is supposed to be the last pope, according to Saint Malachi prophecy. There is something very significant with this. And I think that, oh yeah, they're doing DNA. They're doing DNA research with him to take a part of him to put into the next one. So they are blended together. There's a lot there. I'm going to go with your questions because I could go in thousands of directions at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, it seems you're right also, because he made an appearance on Easter. And I think it was another religious figure who was doing like the whole ceremony, but he showed up, and the next day they announced at least his passing. So it felt very scheduled to me with Easter, because this is one of the biggest religious holidays. And okay, and let's go back for a minute into the last one, the last deep dive that we did on spring equinox, and we talked about the pagan ritual also at the origin of Easter also, which is Ostara, the celebration of fertility, of the birth of the earth, bearing fruits, reawakening. So it's a celebration of life. It's a celebration of the light coming in, of the earth being more bountiful, being more fertile. And you said in that deep dive that they were trying to put the Christian Easter to hijack the power of creation and the power of fertility, because the Christian Easter is so much focused on death, on repenting, and there's the whole process of Lent, of sacrificing something that you like. So it's very punishing in nature, very focused on death, on the crucifixion. So it's a way to try to hijack the creation process. So my question here, is it also the case with the announcement of the Pope's passing, like wanting to take away the energies of creation and optimism, with death being the focus?
We have a very weird energy when you're looking at the visual, and there is something with the masculine and the feminine very strongly, and we have off-world with this card of the middle. So I think it was not necessarily about hijacking this time, but I think it's really was time to pay back something, so that the feminine energy has a place to rise from. So what I was seeing earlier makes more sense now, because I'm not the best with the Bible, people, so help me if I'm saying something wrong, but if I remember correctly, and it's very far away, I think that Eve was created with Adam ribs, correct? Or reverse?
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay, good. So I think that now it's through him that there is something feminine that is being created through the Pope that died. That's where the DNA and the taking something to the next one to follow that.
You did say in the other time that we talked about the Pope, you did say that the next one had a lot of feminine energy, but it was going to be a male. But and that wasn't the last one, because the prophecy of Malachi is a little bit more convoluted. And we picked cards on that in the deep dive on the Pope. So go check it out if you're interested into knowing more. But you did say that the divine feminine energy would rise after this one. So it makes a lot of sense. And also I came across an Instagram post. I wish I had it. I didn't plan to talk about that, but I think it's Issy Living. I hope I'm quoting correctly. And she was saying that it's the rebirth also of the divine feminine in Easter, because she said that in the story of Jesus, when he went on to be crucified on a cross, like all of his apostles had turned his back on him, and the only people that were supporting and holding space for him were Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. So the divine feminine was the only apostles left, or his only support left. So it's indeed like a celebration of the divine feminine power of compassion and love. So I thought that was beautiful. Okay, so another news that is kind of connected to the Pope, because it was announced on the same day. Klaus Schwab decided to, announce that he's stepping down from the WEF. And what I found interesting in this article from Zero Hedge is here, this quote: "Following my recent announcement, as I enter my 88th year, I have decided to step down from the position of chair as a member of blah, blah, blah." So what I found interesting is that he mentions that he's 88. And how old was the Pope when he...
88.
88. So there's like a weird connection. They were both announced on the same day, on Easter Monday. So resurrection, 88, 88. So
Scorpio, death and rebirth.
Death and rebirth. Yes. And I got here, and also 88 is said to be a master number about riches, about abundance. So although a lot of people might say like, oh, I don't believe in that synchronicity or coincidence, the people who plan this stuff, believe me, they do believe in that stuff. And it's not a coincidence that he decided to include in his official statement his age. And the Pope, if you look at the article from the mainstream, they do mention his age. So in numerology, the number 88 is a potent sign that opportunities are coming, huge wealth. And a strict and true moral code is what will bring wealth and prosperity into your reality. What I found very interesting, because both are not really known to be very moral. So let's ask the cards, what is the meaning of the reappearance of the number 88? What does that mean for them?
Just side note, it's also the number on Elvis's plane, because that's his favorite number. That's interesting.
Another day, another analogy to Elvis. I love it. Okay. How can we avoid Elvis, right?
Well, for you, never. You're never going to be able to.
And for you too, guys.
Okay, let's see.
So what's the meaning of the reappearance of 88 for them? What's the signification of that?
Receiving the blessings from off-worlders. It's a symbol that they are on their side. It's freedom from this earth and welcoming the other side. They're preparing for Judgment Day. They are preparing for the next stage that is coming. And I think that they are also, it says offering. It's basically, they are saying that their loyalty is with them. And they are saying that they are from that group.
So it's a pledge of allegiance to, let's say, nefarious off-worlders. They're overlords. Okay, interesting, interesting. And now we're gonna go into a little bit of the Earth and the stars, and let's start with this one here. So we just learned that there's a very active volcano, Mount Etna, in Italy, in Sicily, in the region of Sicily in Italy. And it says it began on the 18th of April. So, and I know we've pulled cards already before on previous shows on the signification, the spiritual signification of volcanoes. And if I remember correctly, you did mention something as the Mother Earth purging herself. So I'd like to ask the cards, is it uh, is it Mother Earth purging some dark energies connected to the Vatican? Because it's in Italy as well, same country.
We have Dracula, we have the woman, and we have the tower, soulmate. Yeah, there was a huge blockage to the divine feminine energy. Just going to show you those. There was a huge blockage, as we can see, with the divine feminine energy, and they're purging this to welcome. It's almost like they had a time limit where they could ignore and push back this feminine energy, and they know it, and this time has reached is end. I cannot speak. It's not even Mercury retrograde. I don't know why.
You're channeling. It's okay. You have a good excuse.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, it's basically they have to welcome this feminine energy. And side note, my consultation, one-on-one consultation since 2 weeks, I would say, the topics are, most of them are really in the realms of extreme purge. So I think it's very much aligned with this.
Yeah, and spring also is the season of purge because naturally we're in rebirth. Our whole body is trying to reboot, and the Mother Earth as well. So it makes a lot of sense. And since you were talking about it, if you'd like to get your personal consultation with Sophie, this is the time to do so. It can be like a really good practice to spring forward even more rapidly with your future decisions, with whatever's going on in your life. We know that until May 4th, this is the only time in the year of 2025 where all planets are going to be moving direct. So we all are starting something really important in our lives. So if you'd like to get more guidance, have your questions answered, this is the time to book. I'll put the link down below, and don't forget Jupiter as your discount code to get 10% off your next reading. Okay, our next question is also connected to astrology. We had a very important alignment that was exact yesterday, but today we're still in it. In the beginning of the week, we're still going to be feeling it. So it's the Saturn, and I'm going to point, if you don't know what I'm talking about here, you see there are three symbols that are at the same degree. So Saturn, the North Node, and Venus all together at 26 degrees Pisces. So this is big, and because we've had like so much energy into those like last degrees of the sign of Pisces. So if you do have something in your chart around those degrees, especially Sun, Moon, Rising, you're gonna feel like a huge death and rebirth energy, more than regular people. But we're all going to feel this. And Saturn is about also karma, past karma. Pisces is the last sign. So a lot of things are dying in this sign, letting go, being dissolved. It's a sign of faith. Also, we got the North Node moving, pointing towards to the future. So it's very, very karmic. So it's pointing towards a lot of karma being ended in order to push us forward into our future. And Venus is there to kind of soften up the energy. So it's talking a lot about relationships, but also about like our future direction as humanity and how are we going to approach relationships. So I'm not going to say too much because I want you to pull cards. Yeah. But what are we collectively manifesting with this alignments? Because every alignment is felt individually in our own birth chart with whatever it activates, but also we're feeling them collectively. So let's ask, what are we collectively manifesting?
Sacred union and making space for what is not aligned with sacred
Wow.
unions. So I think that's the effect of Saturn probably in the North Node.
And
Is whatever,
Pisces.
yeah, whatever is not aligned is going to being cleared. So don't resist it, because you can be your own worst enemy resisting the change that are coming. If you feel something, really explore it, really try to question it, and be welcoming of those questions in your mind, and welcoming of those energies, because there is a sacred union, and that doesn't mean necessarily love for everybody. It could be a business partner, it could be a perfect friend, a perfect place, a perfect job, whatever. It's just there's something that is resonating at your frequency that is going to help you in what is coming next, and that's kind of a soulmate energy. And there is a need of making space first, and like you say, like you can see here, it's not going to be gentle.
No.
That's not a soft tower, that's the real tower.
Yeah. And it's interesting. And you're talking about also this, let's say, balance between the divine feminine and masculine, which is also something that we can experience and we have to experience first and foremost inside inside ourselves, right? So it can also be manifesting as more divine alignment. And talking about that, and you're mentioning this not soft power. And to me, it points to the upcoming new moon in Taurus that we're going to have this weekend, Sunday to be exact, the 27th. So usually Taurus season is all about security, stability, enjoying the pleasures of life. But this new moon comes in as a kind of a tower, because it's involving Uranus, and it's making a T-square to Pluto. Not Uranus, but well, Uranus is involved, yes, because it's in Taurus, but it's activating Pluto and Mars and pointing to a T-square. So it means that most of us are going to have to make choices, and we're going to be pushed by the universe. So I'd like to ask you and the cards, and you're saying yes.
Oh yeah.
What are we being guided to do during this powerful new moon?
I'm going to draw cards on this. Let's see what we have. Okay, the offer just came up.
Okay,
Okay.
I love it.
It says train wreck. So don't expect that your mind, every card is just flipping. Okay. Don't expect that your mind, your body, and your soul are all going to be aligned on the same direction. You can have one that is more advanced than the other. But I think you're going to feel which way to go very strongly. But we do have opportunity. Sorry, we do have opportunity here. So we know that there is something that is positive, that is aligned with us. We saw the union card, so that could also be referring to, because it's in the same time, could be referring to something that is meant for you, that is coming in your life, an opportunity. But we do have train wreck with it. So I want to say that don't try to go in your coping mechanisms to avoid. Don't try to hide. Don't try to delay. With this, it's pretty much saying that you're going to really have to follow this energy, and it's pretty much like an eclipse energy. Even if you're trying to hide, it's going to find you. You're going to feel it really strongly. You're going to, if you're resisting it, you're going to have a lot of either outside circumstances that are going to let you know you're not going to be able to get out of it, or inside circumstances, it could be being sick or whatever. So overall, I think it's challenging. Sorry, it's challenging for everybody, this aspect, but it's ultimately very positive if you are following it. And like I said, you're not going to all be aligned, brain, soul, heart, on it on the same time, in the same time. So be gentle with yourself. Ultimately, it serves a purpose of speaking your truth. It serves a purpose of, this is Uranus energy, Aquarius energy. It serves the purpose of discovering what is aligned with you, what you want, and it's in response to what you have been hoping for in the past.
I love that. And I feel like it's really aligns with what we're going to work here. So this is going to be the upcoming new moon in Taurus activation that Elena and I are going to have live, and also you can watch on replay. And we're going to do that this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So we'd love it if you would like to join us. Of course, it's a really powerful practice. So we're going to really tune in into our inner guidance. What is the universe or our higher selves asking us to do at this time? So I think this is the best way. And you mentioned that our head and our heart cannot want or desire the same thing, or we could feel like some kind of inner conflict, which I think is really in line with the astrology as well. So we're going to try to tune in as much as we can with the guidance of our guides, of our higher self, into making the best decisions and going in the right direction. So I believe like every time we're having more difficult new moon, full moon, such as this one, it's even more important to tune in and to take the time to make a ritual out of it, to really make sure that let's say your actions are following your inner guidance. So join us. We would love you to be there. I call this one navigating change and transformation. So I think it is on point. So this is going to be this Friday. The link is down below for the registration, and make sure you're here, and we would love you to be there.
I will do it for sure, because, even though it's a difficult one, maybe the more they're difficult, the more you have greater rewards, right? So you want to have the rewards, you want to be aligned, you want to be doing your job to be getting the best path. So I will be there for sure.
Love it. Thank you. And you mentioned rewards, and I do agree with you 100%, because I feel like Taurus is all about, first of all, material security and manifestation. So if you're doing it right, if you're going through the process in the best way possible and tuning in, I think rewards are going to be coming for sure. Okay, let's go quickly in this new section. So we have Canadian federal elections coming up this next Monday, so on the 28th of April. So, and not saying that this image is really like a really good representation of the populace opinion of who's going to be elected. It's just like something as a placeholder for the question. So, and personally, like, I'm a little bit distressed when I see that the Liberals are at 43%.
I think I'm going to Sage.
Yes, good idea. And we know that those pieces they produce in the mainstream media help also serve one party. So it's probably not right. So let's ask the cards, what will be the result of the election? Will it represent the votes or the real opinion of the population?
So will it be?
Let's just start with what will be the result of the election, and let's see what the cards can tell us.
I'm seeing a conflict between two different leaders. Let me see what we have. I think that we're not going to have the Liberal Party winning.
Okay.
I think it's going to be very close. I think there is stuff that we're not aware of also behind the scene that is happening. Of course there is, but I mean, there is stuff that I cannot say, but I'm just going to show you those two images. So there is something going on around topic of children behind the scene that is going to probably be blackmail or something. And ultimately, it's going to be decided behind the scene that I think Liberal will not win because of it.
Okay. So do you think it would be the Conservative Party, which seems to be second in line if we take okay. Can we ask the cards, will the result represent the voters, or will we experience election interference? Okay, election interference.
Yeah,
It
because
will.
we have the World, we have the Two of Cups, and we have the Judgment. So that tells me that this is behind closed doors, and the world is just going to be made aware of what has been decided.
Okay, which is exactly what happens every time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, next question I have. Someone sent me this. I think it was you. So it says here, Mark Carmi confirmed if he's reelected, he will reintroduce Bill C-63, which basically punishes everybody for free speech, and you can be arrested for hate speech for any kind of social media post. And this show, for example, could not exist under this bill. And like in this video, they're also pointing to examples in UK where it is being enforced, and it really is like the dumbest thing you've ever seen. Like someone said something on the social media and they come to arrest him, like, oh, did you really say that? Someone felt anxious when they read your post. Anyways, so let's ask the cards. Is it true that Carney of the Liberal Party wants to reintroduce Bill C-63?
There's something around children with that guy. Okay. Yes, it is true. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. Yes. So he is planning to control everybody and have strong limits, boundaries on what can be said, what cannot. It's worst. I think it's going to be reinforced. It's so strict and strong. It's almost like war pictures. So I do see that that tells it all. Psycho and public enemy. Yeah, it's going to be worse. It's going to be reinforced even more. So get ready to maybe have to switch country too.
Well, according to the cards, he's not going to be elected, so
that's right. Yeah,
he should be good. Okay, is the next leader who's going to be elected, or rather chosen, if we look at it from the cards view, will they reintroduce Bill C-63 if it's not Carney?
I think that there has been deal behind. This is Jekyll and Hyde. We have bound and we have paid in full. So something has already been paid, decided behind the scenes. So big companies, probably big leaders interfering that this is being reinstated. So I think there's a lot of money going to Carney because of it in his campaign. Ultimately, if it's not him, I don't think it's going to be put back. So you have to know that that's about, I would say, 95% of the reason why he is trying to be the leader. Carney is trying to be the leader because of that deal behind closed door that we need to have, according to them, not me, we need to have like some kind of big system, like very strict, so there is nobody that can say anything else in the media.
So this guy is a Nazi. Okay, great. Okay, not gonna stay in that energy for too long. So I have a really good question here from Vicky in the community, and also if you'd like to send your questions, please do it on the community. This is where I go every week to pick some of your questions. Okay.
The community is at maisonjupiter.com, just to let you know.
The link is down below. I'll make sure to put it. Okay, so it's quite a long introduction, but stay tuned because it is a really good question. So Vicky is asking, she says, as executor of my late partner's estate in the US, and first and foremost, sending you our deepest condolences, Vicky. She said, I got H&R Block to help me file his personal taxes today. After telling me the amount he should owe, the accountant said he is surprised to learn of an IRS change to taxes. Look at this article. So as of this year, they are assuming that they cannot collect taxes from a dead person, and therefore his estate didn't have to pay anything for his personal taxes. While I am celebrating unexpected happy news from the IRS, I still find it strange. So let's ask the cards. Did the I have trouble pronouncing this, IRS, did the IRS really make this change because they think they can't collect from the dead person, or did they make it because they can't give a refund to a dead person? What's going on with this change?
My God, I'm just going to show you the card. I think you're going to know right away. So this is the card of I'm telling you what to do. This is the Capricorn energy, very much about the IRS telling people what to do. So they're not feeling like they are in a weak position at all. We have fighting back. We have the victim energy right there. We have parasites and we have manipulation. So it is all a big illusion. This thing is a power grab somehow, and we do see with this that it serves some interests, and it's very weird situation. What do you see in the cards?
I'm conflicted. I'm confused. I feel that there's a lot of manipulation, as obviously we can see. Are they preparing for some like big change from like a higher political sphere? Let's say Trump, is he about to change something bigger with the IRS?
So we have again the illusions. This is just an illusion. Yeah, so there is a major shift in how it's going to be dealt with, and they're reviewing everything. So we have the Three of Swords, Two of Wands, the Two of Pentacles. They're reviewing everything. It's still something that at the moment, I think that there is people that are fighting for this power grab, because there is something to gain out of it, depending on which side you're on. And I do see that there is a big ending and a transformation that is coming, but not everybody is aware of it at the time. So there is this fog on, there is this lack of clarity. People inside of it that are part of the decisions are not even aware that what is coming is not necessarily aligning with their own opinion. Ultimately, it was sold to some people with different point of views, with different kind of angles, and what is really coming up with this is has not been revealed yet.
Wow. So are they trying to implement this as a step-by-step strategy? So first, like, let's say people who have passed do not owe anything to IRS, which was definitely a big change. And then maybe there's going to be bigger, let's say, I don't know, measures being taken around like, you don't have to pay anything for your taxes this year. I don't know. Are they trying to implement this step by step, or is it just like we don't know where we're going type of situation?
It's so weird. We have High Priestess, which means secret, the Seven of Swords, which means sneaky energy, which means, again, secret in that sense. The Seven of Wands, which means don't go there. The Strength, the Two of Swords. Every card is just like, you're not supposed to reveal it. You're not supposed to go there. There's something big that is happening, and we just need to keep our trust in what is coming for us, because we are in the purge, we are in the shift, and ultimately it's all going to be better. But right now, I think that we're not supposed to reveal the big plan about this. Yeah.
And I feel like most people working at the IRS are not even aware. This is like my personal feeling. And
and even the people, like I said, that were part of the decisions were not told the real reasons
Ah, can we, last questions on the subject, can we pull cards to see, like, are we going to see, let's say, direct implications with our taxes this year in 2025, like lowering our taxes?
Okay.
And let's start about United States. Let's talk
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
United States first, because we're talking about IRS.
They don't want to say. Look at the first card. It's like the future is uncertain at this time, and or we're not supposed to see clearly. I'm going to try to ask again with tarot this time.
It's a protected question.
It's a very protected question. Sometimes there is divine timing into it also, but let's see what we can. There's justice. So they're reviewing a lot of things. They're reviewing the law. They're reviewing in every state. I think they're reviewing some kind of a big system overall over all the states, because I asked for United States and it says every state is going to be under review. Are we putting the same amount of taxes? Are we doing the same reduction for everybody? Are we keeping the same system? And what I like, this is the first time I'm seeing this card because that's a new deck and I never look at the cards. It's almost like fire to me. It's almost like this Judgment Day, and this is the feminine energy. So I feel like we are going to see something that is a little bit more giving to the people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there is going to be a more equal system, I think, through the states.
Okay. And good thing that we asked for the states before, because I believe that a lot of other countries will follow the guidance, especially for Canada. Okay, let's dive a little bit into health and body. And I have a question that I've been wanting to ask you for a while. This is my personal theory. So let's see what the cards have to say about that. So about cilantro, or coriander, some people call it coriander, cilantro. So it is a very polarizing herb, because I feel like some people absolutely love it, especially in Asia. It's very, in Middle East, it's very popular there. While other people despise it, like they're not even able to smell it, and it's just like, ugh. And I remember that the first time that I tasted that, I was like, ugh, what is that? And I was just like, I wanted to throw up. It was like disgusting taste to me. And now I absolutely love it. I could put coriander, cilantro everywhere. And it's known to as one of the biggest benefits to detox heavy metals from the body, right? So my theory, and I'd like to verify what the cards have to say, are the people that have a strong negative reaction to it, are they carrying too many heavy metals in their body?
Absolutely. The freedom from the metal.
Oh.
Yes. And I think there's a reaction it's reaction from the body itself to keep the person in this loop.
Uh-huh. When like the detox is gonna be too harsh, like the body's rejecting it.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is crazy, because I think that the first time that I had it, it was before like I did my complete change in foods and diet. And after that I completely changed my diet and went more natural, more organic, and more like raw fruits, vegetable, and all of that. Like I was like, oh, it tastes good all of a sudden. Crazy, right? And you like it too, right?
I'm getting around it. Yeah, okay.
Okay. And are there like other good benefits from cilantro other than the heavy metal detox?
It says that it opens your third eye and your crown chakra.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's really powerful. I think I like it more now.
Yeah, you should definitely try to include some more of it.
Yeah. it seems to probably the pineal gland, because I'm looking at those with the third eye and everything. That makes sense. We have the card of guides, and we have the card of Houdini, which is a card I use a lot for mental health and etc. So I think that with this herb, you're able to access a little bit more of the frequency of the higher chakras, and a little bit more detoxing of those in the same time.
Whoa. And does that mean that people, like the majority of people from Asia or Middle East, where this herb is very much used, does that mean that they have more of an open third eye and crown chakra?
We have the Seven of Pentacles, so that depends on the rest of their diet, if it's natural or not. This is a card that we see a lot of gardening. So if they eat well, and if they are more in nature than in the big cities, I would say depends on the rest of their the life. But for sure, they are detoxing, so it's good.
And like, how interesting that it correlates with people that have a lot more faith into their lives. They're a lot more religious or spiritual. Wow. Okay. Let me know, guys, what you think. Okay. So we have time maybe for one or two, let's see, others. So let's dive into mysteries. And we have lots of really good questions from the community there. So okay. So I don't know how much you're going to be excited about the next one, but I am. Okay. So okay, let's start here, because this is kind of a convoluted question. So Angeline from the community is sent me that, and this is about the concept that between Mars and Jupiter in the solar system, there is the asteroid belt, and there are lots of theories pointing to a planet being destroyed that caused all the little pieces of it to be in orbit in the asteroid belt, right? So there are lots of theories about what went on there. Okay, and where do we begin? She said that allegedly, some sources say that on Mars, there was an alien race on Mars that had a Death Star a little bit close to, and that's the one from Star Wars on the picture. So she said here, Star Wars may be a documentary of sorts, like The Matrix. So apparently Mars people had a Death Star that was near completion. It did a test run like in the movie and destroyed a planet. Maybe the planet between Mars and Jupiter. Accordingly to some math calculation, there is a place where there should be a planet after Mars where this is just empty space. That the attack on Mars was to prevent that war-like race from completing the Death Star and conquering our system. Whew. Okay, and just for you, Sophie, because I know you're not a Star Wars fan, the Death Star is kind of a inorganic planet that's being constructed to be a weapon. So it kind of uses this little round in the middle to have like a ray that destructs a planet. Okay. Okay. So she says, wonder if someone parked the Death Star as our moon and forgot where they left the keys. So is our moon some kind of destruction weapon, like the Death Star?
What you were describing is what I had when I did a reading on the moon. I just didn't know about your part of the story, but that was exactly what I had when I was doing cards for the moon.
Wow.
So exactly that. And added bonus to the fact that many civilizations are trying to have the control over it because of the laser.
Oh, and when was that? Was that during a show?
That was during a pre-show.
A pre-show?
Yeah. That was in her past life, right?
Ah, okay. So I don't know where to begin because there's so much content here, but do you want to pull cards on whether our moon is kind of is it a Death Star type of weapon?
Sure. We have the devil, and we have guide and jaw. So I would say yes, because jaw is the one that is ready to attack. And the devil in my deck is this card obsession. So I would say that this is something that is worth a lot. So the value of it from point of view of people wanting to get it, the demand of it is there is a lot of demand for it. It says that also it could be used for other purposes, but it's used for the wrong purposes mainly. That's where people see the value, but it would have a very positive energy if it was used in a positive way for any kind of population. Very powerful. It says on this card, it says, I will awaken the best part of you. And we have guidance. So this could be bringing a lot of light and a lot of magic and realization to people's life. But at the moment, it is more in this negative energy.
Use that as a negative weapon. Okay. Are we going to be able to liberate it from the dark side and be able to use the light side of the moon?
It says that people are trying. There is people trying to block it from being able to hurt in the future. So let me see just a little bit more in the future. Yeah, we do have it. So we do have people joining forces from off-worlders to end this side of this weapon, basically.
Okay. And how is it going to manifest itself differently in our birth charts? Because we know that the moon position in our birth chart is connected to our emotional needs, to what we need in order to feel secure, familiar. So how is it going to change the expression of our moon in our birth chart when it is liberated?
It says that we're going to have this stability to act on. It says that we're going to have way more free will. I don't know why, but it says way more free will. Okay, you're going to explain good. And it says that we're going to have this stability. So I think that we're going to have less challenge. So that could be positive overall, but it could be also less positive for new soul that we're searching for that experience here.
Right.
Less challenge overall in childhood, because we're going to have more of this stability to act on for the rest of our life. So more free will, I would say, to discover, to try new things. So it would change the whole frequency of the earth and the whole frequency of reincarnation here.
Okay, Sophie, you're so on point, and I know you don't know anything about what you said. But a lot of people are saying that it's projecting a hologram on the earth that's keeping us even more in the matrix. And by that, we're staying in a lower frequency and keeps us into repeating loops and reincarnation where we have like the minimum free will and more like traumatic experiences. So, wow, crazy. And can we have like a timeline of when is it going to be liberated, the moon?
I'm hearing 200 years.
Ah, okay.
Your next life, maybe.
Okay. Okay, awesome. And talking about our next life, I have a really good question here from Irma from the community. She says, what is the best ritual to celebrate your birthday? There is a theory that blowing candles on a cake speeds up aging. So what would be the best way or ritual to celebrate your birthday for your highest good?
No more candles.
Well, let's see what the cards have to say. We don't know if it's true.
Are we asking about the candles or are we asking about the best ritual? Just to make sure.
Okay, let's start about like, is it true that blowing candles on a cake speeds up aging?
What's the effect of the candle on the birthday cake?
Blowing candles.
Yeah. 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 It's making your subconscious understand that you're aging. So you're aging more. Yeah, no more candles. That's
No
done.
more. That's decided.
Decided.
Awesome. And what would be the best way or ritual to celebrate your birthday?
It says to be outside in the sun as much as possible to welcome, because it's ooh, that's super powerful. They are saying that the day you were born, you're supposed to be outside as much as possible because that is your frequency. You're supposed to absorb your frequency all day long if possible.
And it's your solar return. So it's
Oh,
the return of the sun where it was at the moment of your birth. So it's a solar celebration.
that's why it says to absorb it, because the more you absorb it, the more you have strength for the next year.
Wow.
And
Okay.
that's why you have to check your solar return, because if you're on the right place, you absorb the right energy even more.
Uh-huh. And yes, I did a quick workshop on the solar return, so I'll put the link down below if you're celebrating your birthday or in the coming months and you'd like to prepare for it in the best way possible. Wow, that was an amazing show. Thank you so much, Sophie. Let us know in the comments if you did like it. And also don't forget to give it a like if you did. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And also we changed a little bit of our branding here.
Yes.
So I started changing that. And next I'm going to let's say change the website. So this is our new branding for the channel. So do make sure, and we just said this, what's this number again?
16.
16. I was going to say 16. Okay.
Oh my God.
16,000. So thank you so much, guys, for being with us. We really love you, and thank you for supporting us. So do make sure you subscribe to whatever platform you're watching this on. This is the Rumble channel, and do make sure you give it a like. It really helps us. So thank you so much. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you tomorrow because we're going to put up the monthly predictions for May for the 12 zodiac signs. So stay tuned and see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.